Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Big Ten champions. Big Ten champs.
National champions, yes.
Oklahoma City bound the Oregon Ducks.
Awesome day to be a Duck, man.
Boom inside. Touchdown Oregon. He gets loose. Fires. Hit. Pops the three. Oh, yeah. It's all Oregon.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider.
It's about how to be a group of people that know how to love each other to the absolute fullest.
Pleasure, joy to be with them each and every day, and I can't wait for the future.
It's just fun to be a part of a community that cares, that is passionate, and when we come together, powerful things can happen.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Two wide receivers in the studio here today. Joey Mack along with Ryan Milano. We got Athletic Director Tuesday with Aaron Puwasin coming up in a moment. We begin, though, the reason that I'm sitting in the chair today, Ryan was scheduled to host the show because I was going to be driving up to Hillsboro, but the Ducks and the Beavers baseball game has been postponed. It was originally set tonight at Hillsboro's Hops Ballpark. It has been postponed, and tickets for tonight's game will be good for the hopefully agreed upon date for the rescheduled game. So officially postponed tonight. If you're live with us in the 1 o'clock hour, maybe you're listening on 105.1 1080 The Fan in Portland, and you're like, wait, I was going to drive to Hillsboro tonight. The game is postponed. Your tickets will be good for the postponed date once that date is agreed to. The two teams are trying to figure out a date as we speak, and we'll let you know when that date becomes, if it even does become a thing. Did I miss anything?
I think you got it. First, disappointed that won't get the game against the Beavs in tonight. Always great when Oregon and Oregon State go at it on the baseball diamond, and there's been some good games as of late between the two, so hopefully able to get that rescheduled sooner rather than later. But a good consolation prize because we got to keep you here in studio.
That's right.
And we're going to give Puwasin, I think, a very difficult time because not only is it just the A team like we were joking about yesterday, but it's the A+ team here today.
Wow, that's the nicest thing he's ever said to me, Pooh.
Very nice. I don't know what to think about this 2-on-1 here right now.
Yeah, do you feel like it's a double team situation?
A little bit, but I think I can get through this.
Well, I'll just see you guys. But seriously, game postponed, and so that means that Ryan and I were like, well, we might as well just do this together today, which is always a little bit more fun on Duck Insider, and we got a big softball weekend to get ready for. I'm excited for this coming up at the Jane this weekend, guys.
Yeah, big softball series this weekend versus the Huskies. A lot going on at the Jane this weekend, and really excited to talk about it.
Wait, should we do the proper introduction? See, we got to work on our two interview status here. Okay, everybody, it's Athletic Director Tuesday. This is Senior Associate Athletic Director Aaron Puwasin. He's in charge of equipment operations and championships. He's the sports administrator for Oregon softball. There is a lot going on at the Jane. Did we miss anything on the business card these days?
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Okay.
No, didn't miss anything.
Okay, I got to start here. We've had now kind of a running joke of like an honest job description. Like everyone has a title, right? Like mine is Director of Broadcasting. What does that even mean? I'm really a professional regurgitator, right, Pooh? Like I process information and then I just say it on the air, right? What would your honest job title be?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just
You're like the logistics man.
Yeah, I just do what they ask me to do, and then, I try to stay out of the way. Let the professionals do it.
Do what they ask me to do. Try to stay out of the way.
I think you could be fashion curator.
Fashion curator. I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear what people think about that, like if they would want me to do that or not.
You're in charge of so much different equipment around here.
Pooh, your closet is immaculate.
I do. I've got, it is spring cleaning time, so I do need to go through that closet.
Speaking of that,
there we go.
Surplus sale to talk about here coming up as well. But, in all seriousness, though, Pooh, you do get to wear so many hats, and you're often the guy that's coordinating with so many different groups, right? That's why I say, you're the logistics king in a lot of ways.
Yeah, just, it comes to a lot of the logistics or championships or whatever it may be, just kind of getting the group together in a room or on a Zoom meeting and just sharing the information that the NCAA or CFP or whatever it may be has us when it comes to hosting championships. And so it's a lot of fun to be a part of it, and then pass it off to, the leads in each of those departments and let them do what they do best.
And a lot of preemptive work as well this time of year when you're looking for diamond sports towards the end of the year with baseball and softball as well as NCAAs. Is this a time for you preemptively where you're looking forward to a few months from now for potential host sites here in Eugene?
Yeah, right now we are actively working with our event staff to make sure that all the information is submitted to the NCAA for potentially hosting baseball and softball postseason. And so all that information is due actually the next couple of weeks. Oh, wow. And so we've been working on that. We're going to Ben Clark and his staff on all that information.
We talked before about there's the bid process, right, that goes into all this, but I don't know that everyone realizes you have to plan so far in advance, right? Because the seasons aren't going to be over for another month or so, and here you're talking about you got to be ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just making sure that our staff, internal staff, has all the information that they need, and those weekends and those weeks are available at our facilities, and Mike Duncan and the event staff, and making sure that they have on the master calendar potentially hosting this, potentially hosting that. And making sure that we're checking all the boxes with the NCAA when it comes to what the information they need from us about our facilities, game times, ticket prices, those type of things. Hotels are booked, so a lot of different people working behind the scenes to make sure it's a seamless transition into the postseason for us.
A lot of hotels.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, right? That's a big
part.
Yeah,
every team gets their, a different hotel, and then, the officials and the NCAA reps that are coming in. And so Casey Johnson's in charge of the hotel planning, so great job, Casey.
Casey.
She does a great job and works with our local partners.
Casey Johnson is also the one that came up with the slew of trivia questions that we had at the annual scholarship dinner. Pooh, how'd your table do?
We should have done better. I had a great table with our athletic director. There's a couple that he's looking at me like, you should know this. I'm like, yeah, I should know this, but
boy, that's a tough table.
I was off by a couple. He was.
You
off
had
by
Dante
a couple.
Moore at your table. He was pretty good at name that tune.
Yeah, Dante was great. And so we had a wonderful table. We had a great time.
Great time.
Not great at trivia.
I thought you got 7 out of 10. That's a C.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Hey,
you'd pass on Oregon trivia then.
I'd take a C any day of the
week. Casey had some really tough questions. What can I tell one about facilities that I didn't know?
Yeah,
I think you'll remember. So I did not know this. I need to go on more tours with Pooh at facilities, obviously. So there is one location in the Oregon facility footprint where the Ducks are actually flying away from Autzen Stadium. Every other time they're pointed toward Autzen Stadium. The answer is the sleep pods right below our feet in the Marcus Mariota Sports Performance Center because they're migrating. I didn't know that. I did not know that. That was one of the trivia questions that I don't know that anyone got.
That's an incredible question.
Incredible trivia
Some of the small details about our facilities.
And you're a big part of that.
Yeah.
You've been in a lot of those conversations, and that storytelling is cool. In any case, I did not know that we would talk about that with Pooh today. Here we are on Athletic Director Tuesday. Let's talk about the softball part of your life, if we could first, because Washington coming up, alumni weekend celebrating 60 years of Oregon softball, 10 years at the Jane. Pooh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. We have, including alumni and their guests, over 90 of those alumni and guests coming back. This weekend. We will honor them pregame on Saturday. And so for fans, if you don't have your tickets, I would get them now because they're going fast. Exciting weekend. We're also going to honor the Sanders family. 10 years of the Jane this weekend, or this season. And we're going to honor them on Friday with a pregame ceremony on the field. So, again, get there early for both of those days. But really, really excited. 60 years of Oregon softball. We've been planning this for 6 to 8 months with a group of alums, a group of staff internally, and really excited to kind of get to this weekend and celebrate them, celebrate the softball program and how far it has come in the 60 years, as well as the Sanders family and what they mean to our department.
And we talk about postseason type of atmosphere. It feels even more of like a celebration than it does even like a postseason type of atmosphere. But it is two talented teams going at it, but then also fans at the Jane celebrating 60 years of Oregon softball, celebrating 10 years at the Jane. Like, this feels like the type of celebration, type of event weekend that you only get once every few years at a venue, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. When everything is going great there at the Jane, like Coach Lombardi talks about the roar of the fans, and it's such a great, intimate stadium where the fans are right on top of the field. And so we expect the same crowd this weekend as we've had throughout the year, and so really looking forward to a great weekend.
The crowd has been awesome at the Jane.
Yeah.
And I expect it to be that way this weekend. We've got a lot of things to cover with Aaron Wasson on the softball front, though, and you talk about the meaning of this series. We're going to talk with Coach Lombardi coming up on today's show just a little while. Also, should have mentioned Dan Lanning after practice today, the Oregon football head coach. That's still on the horizon. But you think about these sort of matchups. One, it's Ducks and Dogs. Okay, like it's Oregon-Washington. Two of the marquee programs on the West Coast the last however many years you want to say. But it also means a heck of a lot for a postseason resume, doesn't it?
It sure does. We're both there right in the top 20 with great RPIs, and so it's, the last few weeks here of Big Ten conference play is going to say a lot on who's hosting those top 16 hosts there in early May. And so we know what's on the line, and we're up to the challenge, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Makes it fun.
Yeah,
Makes it fun. All right, time out. We're going to come back. The surplus sale is coming up. It's like an annual holiday for some. We're going to break that down as we continue with Pooh on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs. And for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working at our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Man, I love my kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. I was discussing how this is like a two wide receiver set, and Pooh felt like maybe it was like in basketball we're double teaming. Pooh, no, I'm saying you're the quarterback here. We're the wide receivers.
There we go. That's how it works.
That's how
okay,
it works.
I like that.
Yeah, you're the quarterback. So that means on the quarterback analogy, as we welcome you back to Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack hanging out with Ryan Milano today. If you're live with us in the 1 o'clock hour and you did not catch the word, Oregon baseball against Oregon State in Hillsboro tonight has been postponed. More details on GoDucks.com. Those of you who have tickets, your tickets will be good for that new postponed date once the two teams are able to figure out what to do here moving forward. And we're into the late part of the baseball season and got to get those schedules lined up. We'll let let you know. We'll keep you updated. Oregon baseball against Oregon State tonight, postponed. What is not postponed is the surplus sale. So on that note, play quarterback for us, Pooh. Start hitting some wide receivers with dimes down the field. What do we need to know about the surplus?
Here we go. So information went out earlier this week you can find it all on GoDucks.com. Much like previous years, a lot of the same information. There it is right there. Saturday, May 2nd in the Mashofsky Center. Great benefit to DAF donors, season ticket holders. They will get priority access. Just making sure that they RSVP by the date there on Thursday the 30th at 5 o'clock.
That's a hard deadline, by the way, folks. The system closes. So Thursday, April 30th, 5 p.m., DAF and season ticket holders get that priority access to the surplus sale.
And Jason Harris makes no exceptions to that 5 o'clock time.
That's right. That's right. Jason Harris is going to respond to this immediately and go. But a similar operation, though, in all seriousness, logistically to years past, you said.
Yeah, it is. We have probably over 100 student managers and internal staff that help us put this on. But, yeah, same type of setup. All the information's there on the GoDucks website, but just kind of a couple of high-level notes. Doors will open at 9 o'clock. The line lottery will take place. As long as you're in line by the designated time, we'll put everybody's number in a raffle. We'll pick a number out at 8 o'clock, and we'll reset the line. And so hopefully you're the lucky person to be first in line. But if you're not, that's okay. There's going to be a lot of product just like every year. And so product goes fast. So if season ticket holder, DAF donor, I would encourage you to get your tickets.
Get in now.
Well, and the line starts at 7:30 a.m., so no need to camp out overnight. 7:30, if you're there by 8 o'clock, you'll be involved in the drawing, and then 9 o'clock is when doors open.
Yep, that's exactly right. Just be there about 7:30 and be good to go.
And the line lottery, for those that don't remember the history, like you mentioned the camping out, like that's part of why you started doing it this way, and it seems like it's worked well. It's been well received with the line lottery.
It has. So, my first few years doing this, I think we had people camping out for 3 or 4 nights, which I think was kind of fun for them, but add a little stress for us. And so we kind of got together with some staff and came up with the idea of, one, let's add another benefit to our donors and our season ticket holders, right? And then also the fair way to do it is just everyone gets a raffle ticket. We put it in the hopper, pick one out, and we set the line.
And that's where the line starts.
That's where, that person will be first in line. Yeah.
Here you go.
So, it's
that first one.
It's a lot of the same procedures as we've had for many years.
Right. So you're used to it. GoDucks.com. Okay, I know Ryan has prepared some fun questions for you. I have to start here, though, which is you got to give us a little preview of what you're selling, Pooh. What's the product this year? What are people going to see?
So, we've got really the popular items are, the footwear from the last year or so that we just have extra on our shelves that we've got to move this product to get ready for the new product that comes in over the summer. And so helmets, jerseys, footwear, always T-shirts, hats, those type of things. And then every now and then there may be something pretty cool scattered about that's just kind of I wonder where that came from. And so we just put it out there to see if somebody notices, and someone may get lucky.
And people do notice.
Yeah. They notice.
We'll see that on social media later that day.
Yeah, exactly. There's been some fun ones over the years.
What year's surplus sale is this? How many surplus sales have you been through, Pooh?
So I started in August of 11. So my first surplus sale was May of 12. And so, do the math there. So 14 years.
14 years.
Yeah. Okay, so 14 years of surplus sales. And I want to do what I'm calling the surplus sale superlatives. These are questions about the surplus sale, and I want you to flash back in surplus sales of years past to answer these questions. The first of which is, what's the longest line that you've ever seen at a surplus sale?
Ooh, we have wrapped around all the way to the east gate of Autzen before. So we would come in the Mo, so all the way around to the east gate of Autzen, and that was when the camping was permitted, and so we would have campers all the way around the night before as I was going home, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? This isn't sustainable.
But to the passion of the fans, bravo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bravo.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good superlative.
Okay. Lottery. It's a newer iteration into the surplus sale lineage, I should say, if you will. what's the most excited lottery winner that we've ever had that's gotten to be the first person to go in and get their product?
Oh, they're all really excited, and especially if they're tuned in to what's happening. We'll go down the line and start looking for people's tickets that match this, and so we'll get an idea of where it is. But we try to capture it on our creative video and push it out there. And so there's some people that get really, really excited, and sometimes not only them, but like the 10 to 20 to 30 people behind them that just realized now they're at the front of the line. And so it's always cool to capture that moment on video. Now the ones to the left of them, they're now in the back of the line, maybe not so much, but they're always excited.
Do they usually run for the same thing? I should say, do they usually walk for the same thing?
No, it's kind of all over the place.
Really?
Some will find helmets, just depending on what's kind of on their mind and what they want to get that day. But yeah, it is interesting.
It's varied.
It's varied every year.
All right.
Yep.
We've talked about a little bit that there might just be like a random item in there. You're not sure how it's gotten there. What's the most unique item that has ever been sold at a surplus sale?
Oh, we've thrown some furniture out there every now and then, but we don't do that anymore. But before the Marcus Mariota Center was renovated, in our former equipment room, we would have helmets from different teams that we would play and different relationships we would have, and we would trade helmets. And so the first year after the Mariota Center, the first surplus sale after the Mariota Center was built, we'd have 100 helmets from different teams, and we didn't want to display them. We didn't have a place to display them, so it was like, let's just put them in the surplus sale. And so seeing fans come in there and seeing hundreds of all these other different helmets, were like, their reaction was like, why do we have a Tennessee helmet, or why do we have a Boise State helmet, or whatever it may be.
Right.
I think we had one from like what was it, like community college in Phoenix or something. It was just wild, right?
You just get those connections, though.
Yeah. And so we just didn't have a great place to, and they all sold. They were all gone. Yeah, we didn't have any left over.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
They say it's a relationship business, and I think that's one of the most unique ways as to prove why. And I'm really curious. For you, you're sort of around this stuff every day, all the equipment and everything that's a part of the surplus sale, but what's been the most envious buy where somebody goes into a surplus sale and they get an item and you're like, dang, I kind of wish I got that?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I'm not sure. Like sometimes we'll have some electronics from, that we had extra pieces from a bowl gift suite or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
And we priced that product to sell, right? Like a really nice TV for $30 or whatever it may be. And I'm like, well, if I was a fan, I'd probably want that. That's
not a bad deal.
$200 TV for $30 or something along those, like an electronic type thing, or there's always something random.
Because there are some unique things.
Yeah.
Is this like an Easter egg hunt where you put the unique things like between the sets of cleats?
Yeah, it can be. We try to put the product in the same the spots, like similar spots. T-shirts are with T-shirts and shoes are with shoes. But every now and then our staff will get creative and be like, hey, let's try this and see if somebody finds this cool piece in the middle of the T-shirts.
Cool.
I don't know.
The pile
of T-shirts.
So now you know, fans. Gotta look in the pile
Gotta
of T-shirts.
I probably shouldn't have said that.
Look,
all the T-shirts are going to be on the ground, and but
yeah, they're all going to be sold though, and it clears out for what is Oregon Christmas over the summer when all the new stuff comes in.
It is, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
You got any more superlatives?
I do. I've got one final one. I worked with Scott Phillips on the name for this one. I think this one takes the cake. It's the I ain't making 2 trips award for, like, when you go to the grocery store and you get all the groceries out of the car and it's like, I don't want to go back to the car a second time. I'm just going to carry these 8 bags all by myself.
We've all done it.
Yeah, feel like Hercules. Who takes the I ain't making 2 trips award for the most product that they've ever just muscled to their car without having to go back for more?
Yeah, so there has been a few of those over the years. We give out a garbage bag as fans come in just to help them. And so we've had some people ask for numerous garbage bags, which are fine, but to see them drag those around the mow on the turf, and then they finally get past, like, checking out, and they get outside and they're like, how am I going to get this to my car? and they're kind of recruiting some other people that are around, like, hey, can you help me grab this and take it to my car? But, yeah, it's always fun to kind of watch those bags just being dragged across the turf.
It's like fun. Oregon Santa Claus.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it's seriously, I know for so many fans it's such a cool piece. And, I got to say, like, this is one of those moments, like, Boo, Ryan, you guys both have experienced this. Like, people walk to around Autzen, they've never been on the field before, and they're seeing it. We work here all the time, so it's nice to be reminded just how cool of a thing it is, because Oregon does have that unique connection. Like, not every university is doing a surplus sale like this. Am I right?
You are right, yeah, or at least not as often. Yeah, but yeah, it's picked up the last several years. We get phone calls from different people, different schools that are considering doing it with some questions. But yeah, this is going on 20-plus years. I should probably look back and see where the first one was started. But, yeah, it doesn't happen every year.
Well, if we're coming up on a 25-year anniversary, Pooh, I mean, it's time for
some specials.
We need some specials. Yeah. What's the silver level, 25th anniversary, right?
Do we have archives on the surplus sale?
Was that where you do it like the Jane that's going on this weekend, where you get all like the former student managers and equipment guys and alumni that come in? Let's go. They get first dibs.
I love student manager appreciation day.
Yeah, no, that's always a lot of fun. That group, like I said, we have like 70, 75 student managers across all of our sports. And this is just a shout out to them, because most of them work the surplus sale.
Oh yeah.
And gosh, they're excellent for us. Like, not only the surplus sale, but supporting all our teams. So shout out to them.
Team behind the team. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. All right, preparing for postseason. Surplus sale details are on GoDucks.com. Softball this weekend against Washington. What else we missed, Pooh? Anything else on your mind?
Oh, regarding championships, NCAA track in June.
Let's go.
So get your tickets. Had a meeting this morning with the NCAA about that. And yeah, get a lot of opportunities the next couple months to get out and support the Ducks.
Love it. Aaron Wasson, he is the director of logistics and I'm going to say fashion connoisseur.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
All right. Aaron Wasson, the Senior Associate Athletic Director. Thank you. Senior Associate Athletic Director for Championships and Equipment Operations. Thanks, Pooh.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Timeout. Again, all the details are on GoDucks.com. When we come back, Coach Lombardi talking some softball. Ryan's got that. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear Friday, Toyota says let's put good times in gear with the Tundra, Tacoma, and 4Runner. Want some cool available features? We've got power tailgates to power game days and a trailer backup guide that's the champ of the ramp. Heck, we might even cancel Monday. Toyota trucks. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA. It's really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families. And one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
I'm coming home to the place that I remember, back to the land of my first love. Would you spread wide your arms for this wayward son?
Big weekend for Oregon softball. Joey Mack and Ryan Milano back in the Country Financial studio. Actually caught up with Coach Lombardi just a little bit ago, huh?
Yeah, Ducks coming off of a sweep, hosting Washington in a rivalry series this weekend, celebrating 60 years of Oregon softball and 10 years at the Jane. It's a big weekend for Oregon softball. I sat down with Missy Lombardi a few minutes ago. Coach Missy Lombardi here in studio. And, Coach, we've got so much to talk about because not only did your team just sweep a road series, but there's also a celebration going on at the Jane in a massive series against Washington all weekend long at home. So I think we'll just start with this. It's a really good time of year to be around Oregon softball right now, isn't it?
It is. We've got a lot to celebrate. We're coming off of a great sweep from this past weekend. We're going to celebrate 60 years of Oregon softball, 10 years of the beautiful Jane Sanders Stadium, and also another opportunity to play at home this weekend against Washington.
Before we get into the festivities that are going to be happening at the Jane this weekend, I do want to flash back to this last weekend and that sweep over Maryland. First off, it's a long road trip. You're going cross country, and your team sets the tone in Game 1. A run rule victory in Game 1. Just how important was that for your team to really set the tone on the road to open up the series?
I think it's really important. We always think about Game 1, and it's getting Game 1 in the series, and what is that going to look like? And to see them go in and get a run rule and secure the first game on the road, like you said, it's huge. And then it sets us up for Game 2. Let's go get the series.
And your team was tested in Game 2. It was an extra inning game. Your team gets a 4-3 win in Game number 2. It's the 16th comeback victory of the season for your team. That gritty characteristic, that's a character trait of your club.
It is. This group, they're resilient. They're gritty. They're tough. They play for each other, and they're never, ever out of any game.
And then in Game 3, it felt like it was a different way to win as well, where the game was close, and then you extended it out late, and your sophomores made a huge impact with Emma Cox and Stephanie Maake. 13 runs batted in between the two of them over the weekend. They were a big reason why your team was able to complete the sweep this weekend, weren't they?
They were. I loved watching them both compete all weekend long. They just had great at-bats, and they put runs on the board when we really, really needed them. You could see in that last game it was tight, and then in the end there we were able to open it up, and it gave us some breathing room. We needed that. We needed a little bit more breathing room to finish that final game. So to watch Steph hit the grand slam, gosh, the ball that Emma hit, I was expecting it to go off the wall. Like, she hit it so hard, and it just, with the backspin, it just kept rising up enough to shoot out of the park.
Well, and it's a testament to your team to find different ways to win, where you have that sort of blowout victory early and then a gritty victory in the middle and then one of those medium type of victories in Game number 3. That's a sign of a good team, a team that can win in a lot of different ways. And your team is a good team, just the pride that you have in being able to win in so many different ways.
I think the biggest thing for this group is just understanding, regardless of what it looks like, do we have one more run than the opponent? And they are doing a great job of that. We go into the series every weekend and we talk about how every game is going to look different, and don't get caught up in what the last game looked like. Be ready for what's coming next. And I think they do a great job of, celebrating the first game and getting the victory, but then letting it go and then knowing that Game 2 is going to look different.
A lot of your team, Emma Cox, actually, after the game on Sunday, she talked about that type of belief that the team believes to win. How much does that year of experience last year, when we mentioned the sophomores like Emma Cox and Stephanie Maake having some experience now playing in their second season, how much does that feed into that type of belief that your entire team has?
It feeds into a lot. Those guys were thrown into the fire as freshmen, just like Taryn's getting thrown into the fire right now. They're thrown into the fire, and even though they're sophomores, the amount of experience that they have would be like an upperclassman. They've been in those different types of situations over and over again in just their 1 year as a freshman, and then obviously going in as sophomores. So she has the experience. She's been in it, and she knows what she needs to do in the heat of the moment and knows how to get it done.
We can't talk about this weekend without talking about your starting pitcher in Lindsey Grine, who had a tremendous weekend across the board. Earns Big Ten Pitcher of the Week, or earns Division I National Pitcher of the Week honors. Her stats over the weekend, a 3-0 record, an 0.93 ERA. She had 25 strikeouts across the 3 games and only allowed 1 extra base hit. Lindsey Grine's pretty good, huh?
She's pretty good.
She leads the Big Ten in so many different categories. She's top 4 in 9 different statistical categories. She leads league in strikeouts, opponent batting average, whip, and appearances, and is 3rd in the nation in wins. All of that to say, those are Big Ten Pitcher of the Year type of numbers. You've got a pitcher in Lindsey Grine that should be up there for a lot of awards at the end of the season. She's pitching that well, isn't she?
She's throwing great for us. Like, every time she gets on the mound, she gives us a chance to win. She's such a competitor. She wants it for her team, and she's willing to do whatever it takes, and that's what I love about her. If you ask her about any of these like individual accolades or whatnot, she's not going to get caught up in it. Like, obviously, it's so nice for her to be acknowledged, but she's more about the team and what can she do to help us win and do what we want to do and get to where we want to get to at the end of the year.
Well, and that's that type of veteran presence, and it's good for somebody like me to be able to talk about these things that Lindsey Grine is doing and leading the team, because the team is going in a really strong direction right now. 8 wins in a row, 13 Big Ten Series wins in a row. Just your team as a whole, what do you like about the way that your team is playing right now?
I just love the way they're playing together. They're so invested in each other, invested in the team, invested in the journey and what we need to do to win a Big Ten and to be able to host for postseason, and get to the World Series. So I look at them right now versus where we were at the beginning of the year, and just how much growth that we've had as individuals and as a team. They're just in a really good spot. They're confident with what they're doing, and I think they're just really peaking at the right time.
Sets up a huge series against Washington. Let's set the stakes. A 3-game set, 6 p.m. on Friday, 3 p.m. on Saturday, 3 p.m. on Sunday. Sunday's game is on the Big Ten Network. 2 games back of Washington right now in the Big Ten standings. The Huskies are in first place. There's 4 teams sort of at the top of the standings with Oregon, Washington, UCLA, and Nebraska, all separated by 2 games. Needless to say, this is a huge series on the diamond at Jane Sanders this weekend.
Yep, every game we play is huge, and you can see that. Like, there's only a couple games in between, so every single game matters, and to be able to host them at home and from our fans and our most favorite place that we love to play, couldn't have it any better than that.
You talk about favorite place to play, celebrating not only 10 years at the Jane this weekend, but also 60 years of Oregon softball this weekend. I mean, just take me through what that sort of means, where it's 10 years playing at the Jane and 60 years of this illustrious program. There will be so many different alumni coming through throughout the course of the weekend. Just what does that mean? Zoom me out for a second. 60 years of Oregon softball.
60 years of Oregon softball. Like, we are here, and what we are doing right now is because of the women that are in front of us and the trailblazers that, started Oregon softball. And I think of our team and them watching as they were little girls and watching Oregon and saying, that's where I want to be someday. And, we talk a lot about before, beside, behind, the 3 Bs. Before are the women that played before us, beside the women that are playing next to us, and behind the women that are coming up, out of high school that want to be Ducks. And that sisterhood is so important to us. So to get that before on campus, and for us to be able to just absolutely celebrate them and everything that they've done and everything that they've meant to Oregon softball and our university, we can't wait. We have such a great action-packed weekend for them. The Jane, there's just nothing better than the Jane. If we could play every single game at home, we would. We love the Jane. We love our fans. It's just such a great venue. It's just, it's beautiful. So we're just so thankful and blessed for our alum that's coming back, but then also just to continue to play in such a beautiful stadium as the Jane Sanders Stadium. So
Friday at 6 o'clock, it's going to be honoring the Jane Sanders family. It's 10 years at the Jane night on Friday. Just the Sanders family as a whole, just what have they meant to the program?
Everything. I just think about the support and the love that we get from them. And just Molly, she's just such an unbelievable woman, and just a mentor that she's become for me, a mentor that she's become for our athletes. She's in it with us, and we just can't thank the Sanders family enough for just everything they've done.
Saturday at 3 o'clock, 60 years of Oregon softball being celebrated. More than 100 Duck softball alumni from every decade and their families will be at the Jane on Saturday. They'll be recognized throughout the game, and they'll take part in an on-field post-game ceremony. You talked about the 3 Bs, the before, beside, behind, and what I think is really interesting is that now you're in your 8th year of the program, so it's not just you making connections with former Duck alumni that didn't play for you, but somebody like an Allie Bunker comes back 2 weeks ago and throws out the first pitch. You now get a connection with the past Duck alumni from before your time, but also Duck alumni that you got to coach. I think that's pretty cool, isn't it?
It's awesome. For me, I want our Ducks to come home, and any time that they can come home and get on campus, the first thing I'm going to do is get them in front of our team and get them to talk about what it was like when they were here. Our athletes always want to know what it was like when our former athletes, were playing. But then, too, for them to know that they can come home anytime they want. Like, we will roll out the red carpet, whether I coached them or whether I didn't coach them. It doesn't matter. I want these guys to come home, and I want to get to see them, and we want to hear about their experiences here. And, it's funny, like, these guys remember the championships and all of that, but to me, it's about the fun things that happened on the road, and, there's just so much more to it, and that's what I'm excited. I'm excited to hear all the stories and just cool things that happen, all the experiences that they had while they were here.
And we talk about Jane's sanity. We're going to need some of that at-home energy all weekend long, but especially on Sunday. It's a Big Ten Network game at 3 o'clock. It's the only Big Ten Network home game of the season. Fans wear yellow and pack the Jane for a series finale against Washington. I mean, this entire weekend is an opportunity for the fans to really showcase the atmosphere that the Jane can be.
Yes, the atmosphere that we have at the Jane is unmatched, and we need our supporters, our fans, everybody to come and absolutely pack the house. We need you. This is going to be a big-time series for us, and every single person that can get in there and be loud and continue to do what you've done all year for us, it goes such a long way. So can't wait to see you all there.
Not to mention that it's a series with 2 teams towards the top of the conference, celebrating 60 years of Oregon softball, celebrating 10 years at the Jane, but it's also a rivalry weekend as well. It always means a little bit more, and I'm not even sure this weekend you need a little bit more to play against the Huskies, but a rivalry as well that also plays a factor, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I love rivalries. I love it. I mean, that's why we play, right? Each one of us to be the best, and so to get this opportunity at home in front of our fans, in front of our alumni, we can't wait. 6
o'clock on Friday, 3 o'clock on Saturday, 3 o'clock on Sunday on the Big Ten Network. Coach Lombardi, what else should fans know before an important weekend at Jane Sanders Stadium?
I think probably just to get there a little early. I think it's going to be a crazy weekend, but we're going to see some great softball. We're going to celebrate our alum. We're going to celebrate the Sanders family, and it's going to be an action-packed weekend.
Coach, thanks so much for taking the time. A big weekend for Oregon softball. Coach Lombardi going to be there the whole way through leading her team. Coach, thanks for sitting down with us.
Thank you.
I'm so excited.
I cannot be more excited for this weekend at the Jane. Celebrating 60 years of softball, 10 years at the Jane, a massive series at that, a Big Ten Network game, and a team that's won 8 straight games in a row and 13 straight Big Ten series. This could not
really good
be a bigger weekend for Oregon softball. If you haven't gotten your tickets to the Jane, get them now. They are selling out fast, if not already. Make sure you secure your spot to be at the Jane this weekend. Taking a time out, getting to Coach Dan Lanning. He spoke after practice today when we return on Duck Inside on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
When life blindsides you with an injury, you need a team that's tough. For over 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people. This season, we're proud to partner with Oregon Athletics. Because whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, we're both determined to do what it takes to win. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Oregon Athletics. Injured? Dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, 10150 Southwest 6th Avenue, Portland. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now. Don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say yeah.
Bet inside the Country Financial Studio.
Scott, okay, we got to go inside the broadcast. Scott Phillips is on the audio board, and he was literally doing shout, and he did not turn Ryan's microphone on.
So the show is Duck Insider, and it's brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. I said that we were going to get to Coach Dan Lanning today, but we won't have enough time for all of Dan Lanning on today's show. So we will get to Brandon Finney today. We'll get to Coach Lanning and talk to him tomorrow on the show on Duck Insider. Brandon Finney met with the media a few days ago, breaking down spring practices. Oregon's now sophomore cornerback. Brandon Finney speaking to the media.
I say that the first full offseason is one of the most important for a player when you make the most development. What does that look like for you? Where do you think you've grown the most this offseason so far?
Yeah, I mean, having a full offseason is great. I get to, actually build a foundation. So it really started with, getting faster, actually changing how I run and whatnot. So, I mean, I feel like a way faster, more agile player, more physical player. But also I've been growing spiritually, getting closer to God throughout this offseason, so yeah.
I'll follow up on the running part. Do you have a coach who's reworking your strides, or walk us through kind of how you're learning to run again? I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just taking full advantage of my resources here at Oregon. Coach Bolt, the greatest in the business, he's just been great helping me. I've been watching film with him throughout Winter Bowl. And, yeah, I feel way better.
You, Naeem, got plenty of attention last year just getting on the field as early as you did as freshmen. But Dorian Brew is another guy who was rated nearly as highly as you guys, but didn't get that opportunity because of an injury. Just what have you seen from him this spring, and what do people not know about him yet?
You know, I've seen tremendous growth mentally from Dorian. And I just feel like people don't understand how good of a player he is, even though he wasn't really on the field last year. I feel like he's definitely going to be on the field this year, and I feel like he's a great corner.
What's just been your overall impressions of the defense and just the evolution it's taken since you've arrived here?
Yeah, no, I feel like this defense is definitely different, but it's going to be dominant. I mean, I feel like we're already connected, and there's people making plays. There's people taking steps, making progress from last year. So, I mean, I'm really looking forward to what our defense does this year.
Yeah, a lot of praise for you last season nationally. A lot of people talking about your draft stock already, and obviously you still got a lot of college left to play. How do you react to maybe that outside praise and continue to develop?
I mean, I'm not really on social media, to be honest, but really I've just been focused on what I'm not good at and kind of just building on my weaknesses or getting rid of my weaknesses and just building up my confidence. Like I said, I feel like I really had to change up how I was running because at some points in the season, I shouldn't be running a long stride. I should really be having a shorter stride, so I focused on that. And then just being more physical, and I feel like I've displayed that this spring.
Tell us about Carl Williams. He feels like someone who's kind of flew under the radar as an incoming transfer, but how has he fit into this room so far this year?
Yeah, I don't feel like Carl should be under the radar at all. I feel like he's a guy who's about his work, and he's gonna get the job done for sure. Like he's gonna be good, and I'm looking forward to getting on the field with him.
First, what was your reaction when you learned Hamp was going to be promoted to DC, and then kind of maybe what's his camp? Has it been different seeing him and kind of working in a different role or different roles, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, obviously being the DB, you're excited that you got a DB coach as your DC, but I mean, yeah, it's been a little different. The meetings have been different, but I feel like Coach Hamp has done a great job, like translating like the message that he wants and giving it to us. I feel like he's really motivated the defense to get to that next step, like EBT, execution, basic technique. I mean, he doesn't run our meetings no more like as a back end, but we got Coach Kogan, so he does a good job too.
Is there anything that coming in as a freshman last year you wish you had known, and that now going into year two just feels like makes you such a better player, and as you approach this process, just you feel like you have a bit more stability there?
Yeah, no. I feel like having that winter workout portion is very significant to a freshman's development, because like looking back at it, I didn't know much about the defense as I do now, like at all. So I mean, having that those winter workouts would have been beneficial.
Earlier this spring, Coach Hamp was talking about Jet, just saying that he's like a unicorn back there, just his size. You gotta get him on the field. What have your impressions of him been like so far, and just kind of seeing him grow and develop in this defense?
Yeah, no, Jet's definitely a kid who's focused. He's gonna give his best out on the field, and he's really smart kid too. And I feel like all of the younger guys have really displayed that. Like DB Davon, he's been doing a great job. Xavier Larice, he's been doing a great job. DJ, he's been doing a great job. All of the young DBs have been doing really good.
Have you ever tried to change your running style? Ryan's not gonna let Scott forget this. Oh, that was.
Oh, it's
Finney.
on. It's on. The mic's on.
No, the flag has been thrown. The flag was. Wow, that was a good catch by you. Well done. The flag has been thrown. Scott did in fact turn his mic on. But seriously, have you ever had to change your running style?
Yes.
Wait, actually?
Yes, I have had to change my running style because as a runner, like I trained myself to land on my toes. So I initially started like landing on my heels a little bit, and then when I was in high school running, you had to like lean forward a little bit.
See?
Run on your toes.
Brandon Finney, athlete. Ryan Milano, athlete.
Not the same caliber of athlete.
But Brandon Finney figures to be a big part of this Oregon team this year. Ryan threw the flag back. Scott made the catch. And mics are going to be turned off. Final segment coming up. Update on the baseball schedule. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial.
Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Back to the Country Financial Studios in 60 seconds. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
We just kind of knew from the beginning that we were family.
They showcased a sense of love that I never had before. I mean, he's not only my parent, like he's like my best friend.
At the end of the day, it's all been worth it. I wouldn't change a thing about our lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom? She started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Is this thing on?
I had to do it. There was no way I was going to talk first out of the break this time. We're not used to putting Scott through the ringer like this. I mean, Scott hasn't had two of us sitting here since, like, the football shows.
Yeah.
It's a whole new world.
Well, we're talking football now, too.
That's right. That's right. Spring football on the horizon. Stuck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack and Ryan Milano in the Country Financial Studio today. The reason for the two-host show today is I thought that I'd be heading to Hillsborough right around now, but Oregon baseball against Oregon State postponed at the Hops Ballpark. The two teams will work together to try to find a date that works with their schedules. If you have tickets to the game in Hillsborough that was scheduled for tonight, they will be valid for that rescheduled date. More details are on GoDucks.com. Here's hoping that Ducks and Beavs can get 3 games in, but we do know that they're going to play coming up in Corvallis next Wednesday.
Yep, coming up in Corvallis next Wednesday, and coming up for Oregon against Illinois this weekend. And the Ducks leaving tomorrow for that road trip. I'll be on the road with the Ducks as they head out to Champaign. So Oregon not playing in this midweek series. Unfortunate not getting to play against the Beavs, but there is some silver lining in the fact that the Ducks are going to be a little bit better rested for a weekend series coming up against Illinois.
That's true. And Illinois, good team. They've been traditionally pretty good at home.
Yeah, they are a good team, and they're sitting right around 500 in the Big Ten. They're coming off of a non-conference series against New Orleans, so now back in Big Ten play for them. Oregon, of course, coming off of their top 25 win against Nebraska. Always difficult to win on the road in conference. And the Ducks, they didn't get it done the last time they went on the road in conference. Oregon hoping to keep the winning ways from this weekend at PK Park going as they head out to Illinois this weekend.
Men's golf is playing near my hometown at Pasatiempo Golf Course today.
Have you ever played there?
Badly, yes.
Okay.
I have some family that live around the course. Beautiful area. They always make this trip to Pasatiempo every year, and I've asked Casey Barton, I'm like, where do you stay? Where do you eat? You know, we've had this conversation.
Have you given him the recommendation?
Absolutely, I have.
Good.
That obviously I will not share on the air because that's like giving away your fishing hole.
Of course.
You got to keep that internal. You understand.
You got to know somebody.
You got to know somebody. Oregon men's golf, though, it continues today. A full recap of the first round and second round on GoDucks.com. A lot going on this week. Pretty much every sport is in action in a various capacity. We'll break all that down tomorrow. Ryan, safe travels, buddy.
Try my best.
All right. Good to be with you today.
It's great to be with you where I can hear you.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.